Do you know who if someone threw a firearm in a canal? Assert. Did you throw a firearm in the canal? Assert. You told the police that Cortland Henry was at the field looking for the gun, correct? Assert. Wait, what? He told the police that? You told the police that Jamel Demons, YNW Melly, was in the field looking for the gun, correct? Assert. How would Jamel Demons know where the gun was if he was not on the scene at the time of the shootings? Assert. Why would a storage shed be rented on the day of the murder? Assert. That's so sus. Do you know what would have been needed to be painted the day after Mr. Thompson and Mr. Owens were murdered? Assert. In a newly released deposition, YNW Melly's manager, Hunter K. Track, refused to answer questions. It's revealed that Track was previously interviewed by the police and admitted they went out to a field to retrieve a gun the day after the murders. And to make it even worse, bank records show he purchased a storage unit the day after the murders and hired a painter to paint something. This is a longer video, but it's very important because a lot of red flags pop up. This is Hunter K. Track, Melly's manager, asserting his Fifth Amendment right and refusing to answer very important questions about the murder. Stick around for the full video, hit subscribe, let's go boys. Alright, here we go. Start the deposition for Melly's manager, Deposition Francois, or Hunter K. Track. Direct examination by John Phillips for the families. He got involved in the rap game at 16 years old. He worked with Kodak Black when he was 17 years old for Sniper Gang apparel, Kodak's like merch line. He found Melly through like Instagram shit. John Phillips brings up New Era Recording Studio, the studio where they were all at before the murders, before they left in the cars. He started some sort of grills place, making grills and shit, I guess trying to sell grills to rappers, like the jewelry or whatever. He's gonna start playing a lot of videos because Track took a lot of interviews, remember? Track did like an interview tour as YNW Melly's manager. So dumb, when your artist is facing life in prison, you go on an interview tour and answer questions. First minute we played, is that true? Yes. So you indicate that the Melly account wasn't YNW Melly at the time. I don't think so, it was Melly. I don't think he put YNW, they rep YNW, but it wasn't like that, no. When did he strategically, more aggressively, probably adopt and brand YNW? It just came just as him growing and just realizing he needs something else, because before he was like, when you put Melly, everything else pops up. So YNW by YNW Melly. Talking about Adam 22 because he went on No Jumper and got an interview. Did you get access to Jamel's social pretty early on? I believe his mom had his phone with the social media, so I was able to either give it to her to post. I don't remember if she gave me the phone. It was one of them, like he had his phone out here. John Phillips says, because I'm a white guy, I'm going to limit because it's culturally now offensive. I'm in a weird spot. If I say the N word, you understand what I'm referring to. So he's talking about reading the N word somewhere. Yeah. YNW word. Okay, I got you. If I say it, we're cool. No, I'm offended right now, John. I'm done with the Zoom. All right. Nah, I'm playing. Go ahead. See you in court. So do you know where young N-World came from? He actually says it. No, that was something they had. Does it go back to Juvie, Sack Chaser, Dre Green, and Jamel, Melly, and Gifford as early teenagers? You said what? Doesn't YNW and Young N-World date back to when Jay Green, Melly, Sack, and Juvie were all in the streets and Gifford as teenagers? I wouldn't be able to speak on that because I don't know. Okay. Talking about Vlad TV again. Just another outlet like No Jumper, just a media outlet. Did Jamel, Bortland, and Sack call you when they were pulled over on June 30th, 2018? Objection. He asserts his Fifth Amendment right. I'm not talking about the murders. I'm talking about June 30th. Yeah, I'm still going to assert. Jesus. Don't even want to talk about June or whatever. I think they got arrested for drugs early on. Brings up Mariah Hamilton, Melly's girlfriend. According to the police report, Demons was with Mr. Withers, Williams, and Henry. Does that refresh your recollection? Assert. Okay. Are you familiar with that Gucci bag? Assert. Do you know what he usually kept in that Gucci bag? Assert. Have you ever possessed the Gucci bag? Assert. On that day, Mr. Demons possessed or in the occupants of the vehicle a red backpack. Are you familiar with the red backpack? Assert. Are you familiar with what was in the red backpack? Assert. So what's happening here is when Melly got in the cars the night of the murders, he had a handbag on it. Might be this Gucci handbag that they're talking about. And I think the lawyer's trying to get the point across that there was a gun in there because there's been a gun in there in the past when they were pulled over. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe. I appreciate the support. Back to the video, boys. Are you aware that on the day, the red backpack contained a Glock 23, 19, and 27? Assert. Asserts for who purchased each weapon too. Do you acquire guns from Mr. Demons? Assert. Red backpack also contained an extended magazine, multiple drum magazines. Are you aware that Mr. Demons was in possession in 2018 of extended magazines and drum magazines? Assert. Do you know how he acquired those? Assert. Did you acquire those for him? Assert. Did Jamie King acquire guns from Mr. Demons? Assert. The bag also had $10K in cash in it. When he got paid, how did that work? That went with a wire. So 300 would wire 100K. No, he had his own account. So as a manager, he's supposed to get, get the finance first and then we disperse it to the artist. So yeah, they would come to me first and get dispersed to them. Bro, that's so sketchy. There's probably so many rappers, famous rappers that got scammed by their managers. 100%. There's so many slimy managers that I've met personally that are like, I can just tell by the way you're talking to me that you've been skimming your artist money. Like, these artists are oblivious, bro. If all the money going to this manager account and they just trust this manager, they better be looking over these financial records. What was your commission in 2018? 15%. Okay, that's actually not too like bad. I would guess anywhere between 10 and 20%. So 15 is really fair for a manager. If it was 50%, like I've heard from other rappers, then he's getting scammed. And not joking, I've heard 50% before for a management company. Ask him about the advance for his record deal at some point. He says, was it 400,000? I wouldn't know, John. How would you not know? You getting 15% of this big ass chunk of money from the record label and you don't remember? I would remember that even if it was 7 years ago. We're talking about 5-6 years ago. I wouldn't know that. Do you know how Mr. Dimmons came into possession of 7 bundles of currency consisting of $200 bills? He's talking about the exact money that he got pulled over with. Do you know if he ever got that money back? Assert. Do you know if he ever got firearms back? Assert. Is Jamel Dimmons still one of your clients that you manage? I'd have to talk to my counsel about that question. Are you invoking? Asserting yes, until if I could talk to my counsel about it. He won't even answer if he's still Melly's manager technically. That's bizarre. Does Jamel Dimmons have ownership and remain solid? Assert. Does he have any interest in 100K? Assert. Remain solid, I think, is like 100K Tracks, like management company. So he's asserting whether or not Melly even owns part of the management company. Does Jamie King have any ownership? Assert. Does Cortland Henry have ownership? Assert. So there's the record label, Remain Solid. Oh wait, Remain Solid is his own record label, never mind. Between Remain Solid and 100K, as far as what services you provide to artists, assert. Why are you more willing to talk to podcasters than you are to lawyers? Assert. Frying him. Why? Why would you go on a tour for interviews? So stupid. It's always going to be used against you. Did Mr. Williams sack chaser, did he have authenticity? Assert. Did he have good work ethic? Assert. Did he have drive? Assert. Won't even answer personal questions about sack chaser. Do you know who has the ownership rights in that? Of YNW? Of that logo? That logo I don't. Do you know, since you asked, do you know who has ownership rights to YNW? I'll assert. Do you know what arrangements Jay Green, Juvie, Sack, and Melly had when they founded YNW? I wouldn't know. Do you know how that changed leading up to October of 2018? I wouldn't know. Are you an owner of YNW? Assert. Who sold you an interest in YNW? Assert. So remember, one of the state's theories is that I'm guessing Sack Chaser and Juvie had verbal agreement with Melly that they owned part of YNW, but when it came down to the real paperwork, it didn't happen that way. Like someone filed for ownership or whatever without Sack Chaser and Juvie involved, like pretty much snaking them. And here's the manager asserting to these questions. Kind of crazy. And they bring up Cortez Ash, another guy that was around them. Does that refresh your recollection of who he was? No. Are you aware that him and Jamie had a sexual relationship? I don't even know who that guy is. Okay. Are you aware that Rashad Ash filed with the state of Florida for LLC for YNW on March 2018? No. Do you know who the officers of corporation known as YNW were? No. Do you know why Jamel was sporting or wearing a cash-motivated medallion until the middle of year 2018? Not sure. He had a different jewelry pieces. So what I think happened here, they keep bringing up this cash-motivated guy that's a rapper who was part of the friend group, Cortez Ash or whatever. I think him and Melly had a falling out, but then Melly proceeded to still wear the piece because he got asked a question about it in an interview with No Jumper, and it was like an awkward, he was like, what is cash motivated on your neck? And he's like, I don't want to talk about it. But at some point he finally took it off. They flew out to LA for Atlantic or APG, the record label, to meet with him, I guess. My understanding was that Melly was signed with 300 and then went to visit APG or Atlantic. I think you watching right now need to book a doctor's appointment through ZocDoc. Remember that doctor's appointment you were supposed to book but you completely forgot and got sidetracked? You know that dentist appointment you're supposed to get every 6 months or an annual checkup? Why not book it today? ZocDoc makes it easy to find a doctor and book it all online. You'll probably be able to book it before the end of this ad. ZocDoc is a 100% free app and website. You can search and compare high quality in-network doctors and click and instantly book your appointment. ZocDoc has over 100,000 doctors across any specialty, from mental health to dental health to primary care to urgent care and more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance and are located nearby, are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and are highly rated by their verified patients. And once you find the doctor you like, you can scroll through their time slots and actually see what appointments are available to pick the best one that fits into your busy schedule. Appointments through ZocDoc typically happen fast, within 24 to 72 hours. I got a same-day appointment with my tooth pain. It was my wisdom teeth coming in. I got the consultation the same day, and then I was in surgery 2 days later. It was incredible. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/CUFBOYS to find and instantly book your top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/CUFBOYS, ZocDoc.com/CUFBOYS. Were you involved with the efforts by Jamel and Jamie King to get the trademark for YNW? No, I wasn't. Did you advise Jamie to get the trademark? I have no acknowledgement of it. Do you know why he's claiming that he made YNW and you know that? I don't know that guy. Talking about Cortez Ash. I don't know him. Are you going to ask me about this guy 1,000 times? I'm going to have to say I don't know him 1,000 times. So he's getting angry. My understanding, he was sleeping with Jamie King. He admitted to me he was sleeping with Jamie King, and it frustrated the business partners of YNW. So that could be why Melly found out about this and got rid of that chain. and separated himself from that guy. I'm asking you why you said, fam, I'm young and world. So in a video clip, he said he's YNW. I don't understand from that clip. You'd have to play the whole clip, sir. What do you mean that Jay Green was not allowed to talk about YNW? Not allowed to talk about YNW? Yeah, you got to play the clip. Oh, because he's obviously been communicating with the owner of the stuff, the business. They weren't friends. So why is he talking about something he's not a part of or don't know nothing about? Were Sock and Juvie alive at this point in this time when this was connected? When you had this conversation with Jay Green? Assert. In the clip, you referenced paying lawyers. Whose lawyers are you paying for? You can answer, sir. Jamel Dimmon's attorneys? Correct. We're paying for anybody else's. Assert. Very sus not saying who you're paying for, because obviously this lawyer thinks it's for all the people that are sued in this as well. Are you paid for Adrian Davis attorneys? Assert. Dontavius Withers? Assert. Mariah Hampton or Felicia Holmes? Assert. Have you paid for attorneys for Cortland Henry? Assert. Frederick Givens? Assert. Does 100K Management own an armored vehicle? Assert. Who operates the merch t-shirt company that puts out free Portland and Melly shirts? Assert. Do you operate the free YNW.com website? Assert. You're employed as the manager of Young New Wave Apparel. What is Young New Wave Apparel? Assert. What is YNW Apparel? Assert. What is Jamie King's ownership in Young New Wave? Assert. Does Jamel Dimmon's have ownership? Assert. Do the beneficiaries of Mr. Thomas or estate of Christopher Thomas receive any benefits from the merch? Assert. Does Cortland Henry? Assert. Track starts getting mad and says it's not about the case. It's not about this at all because I'm getting text from work. I'm allowed to reply to the message from my work. Philip says use of YNW marks, all of that led to fighting or right before the murders, unfortunate murders or wrongful deaths of Mr. Thomas and Williams. YNW related funds are going to the 100K account is certainly something for purpose of discovery that we can inquire about. We literally allege civil conspiracy. This is part of civil conspiracy. So the lawyer's saying we're allowed to ask these questions about the merch company. Correct. To, in your words, cover up the deaths. Can you tell me specifically what the question was? Whether YNW Apparel is proceeds or put into 100K Management's account. At the time all this went down, Mr. Williams was the CEO of YNW, correct? Assert. That was a laugh? Yes, sir, bro. You're funny. What's funny about that? You went from a question to something else. You asked me a question that I didn't even answer the question. You asked me what the intention that I tried to deprive APG, and I said no, it wasn't. My next question was, at this time, wasn't Mr. Williams the CEO of YNW? Assert. Was Mr. Thomas the CEO of YNW at the time? Assert. I remember this now. So they're talking about Melly flying out to LA to talk to Atlantic Records and APG or whatever. It's the same shit. I think I remember Adam 22 saying that Melly flew out there to LA and used up studio time and everything that they booked. Like Atlantic paid for all this. And they didn't know he was signed already to 300 Entertainment in New York. So that's what this is about. So he like used up Atlantic Records resources and probably wasn't even able to keep any of the music he recorded in those studios because the record label was like, no, you're not getting that. On the trips was Mr. Dimmons visiting known gang members. Anytime when he was out in LA, yes. He was shooting music videos, like work on music. So anybody with anybody he did was always for work purposes. It was never for leisure or personal. The girl who apparently gave him oral sex at APG's offices, according to Adam, was that for business purposes? Someone sucked off Melly at the offices? I have no idea what Adam is talking about. If that did occur, it don't have to do nothing with me. Would that be embarrassing to the YNW brand? I don't recall that incident. In an interview with law enforcement, you were asked about some payments made to Juvie's mom, and you state that you didn't pay Juvie's mom money. The label agreed because of the situation that happened. I just want to figure out this stuff once and for all. How much was paid to Miss Phillips? Assert. Why was money paid to Miss Phillips? Assert. Who paid the money to her? Assert. Whose decision was it to pay Phillips? Assert. Was 300 involved in the decision to pay Leandra Phillips? Assert. Did you call me and tell me to drop the case against you because you were paying Leandra Phillips? Assert. Wait. The lawyer just said that he called him to drop the case because he's paying her? Are you aware of being investigated for witness tampering? Assert. Did Kevin Lyles, the owner of 300 Entertainment, authorize the payments to Leandra Phillips? Assert. Are they trying to get at that 300 Entertainment, the record label, helped pay victims' families? Mr. Dimmons told Miss Thompson that my lawyer and my label told me not to talk to nobody, but I'm taking care of the funeral and your family is going to be good for life, but I know it won't replace this heartbreak. What did Mr. Dimmons do to make Miss Thompson good for life? Assert. What did you do, if anything, to make Juvie's family good for life? Assert. Bank records show 2 payments to Miss Phillips. Have you given Mr. Givens or his companies out of 100K proceeds? Assert. I need some food. Track is like, I'm getting hungry. What reasons did 100K provide payment to Jamie King? Any payments to Jamie would be for her son. Did you and Miss King have conversations about the fact that you should not have turned the phone into prosecutors? Never seen this post to know I have a conversation with her about it. You did a lot of interviews about whether turning in a phone to prosecutors was quote unquote snitching, correct? Correct. So what this is about, I believe at some point, Track turned in a phone or something. I think it was Melly's phone or her phone to the prosecutors at some point, like very early on. Like they asked for it and he just did it? Did Jamie King accuse you of being a snitch on her son's case? No, never had that conversation with her. Did you have the phone that Mr. Demmons at the time that Mr. Thomas and Mr. Williams were shot? Assert. At the time Mr. Demmons turned himself in, did you possess a firearm that was in the car when Mr. Demmons and Thomas were shot? Assert. Do you agree with me that because you received money from Mr. Demmons' business, that you were unwilling to testify truthfully against him? Assert. In this case, have you paid the victims' families of the murder? Assert. In this case, have you admitted to being part of a search group that found a weapon in the possession of Mr. Henry or Mr. Demmons in the moment of the shooting? Assert. Did you destroy or dispose of the bloody murder weapon in this case? Assert. There again, you're saying that there's no evidence. Have you reviewed the evidence in this case? So he showed a clip that I've even reacted to of the manager, 100K Track, saying there's no evidence against Melly. I don't know how he's saying that because it defies logic, but assert, that's funny. It's not funny. No, you're funny. Let's see how funny this clip is where you're accused of murder being involved with a murder. Did you know that Mr. Demmons' defense lawyer was going to point the finger at you for having a motive to kill Mr. Assert? They cut each other off. Do you recall giving a statement to the police on May 10th, 2019? Assert. I don't remember this. In this statement, you recorded as saying, that's why I'm like, okay, cool, let me see how this plays out, because I don't look at Melly as a murderer, especially not with no Sack and Juvie, not the way he was acting with them, because if he could kill Sack and Juvie, that mean he could kill me and my wife, but he's closer to them than anybody. Did you say that to the police? Assert. What do you mean if Mr. Demmons could kill Sack and Juvie, that means he could kill me and my wife? Assert. Are you expressing the fear for your own health or murder by Demmons? Assert. Has Demmons ever threatened you? Assert. Has Demmons ever threatened your wife? Assert. What do you mean by Juvie is your little brother? Assert. Do you feel like Juvie, who was compared to being your little brother, deserves justice in this case? Assert. Kind of crazy he's asserting that, right? This is supposed to be their friend, and he's asserting to a question on whether or not he deserves justice. Who do you feel killed Mr. Thomas? Assert. Who do you believe killed Mr. Williams? Assert. Did you go to Fredo Bang's house on October 26? Assert. Was Jamie King there? Assert. Mariah Hamilton? Assert. Fredo Bang? Assert. Why were you and your wife and Mr. Demmons at Mr. Bang's house? Assert. Where did the discussion come from that first time you heard that Sack was owed $200,000 from Mr. Demmons? Assert. Do you agree with me that you told the police officers, I want to know where Sack is going to get $200,000 from? Melly's going to sign Sack and Juvie. Well then, really, they all like CEOs of YNW. Assert. What? Was Melly going to sign Sack and Juvie through 100K? Assert. Was Melly going to sign Sack and Juvie through Real Solid? Assert. If this was really for $200,000 or 100K or whatever Melly was owed to them, like if Melly really owed them money like that and he killed them over it, that is crazy work. Because Melly was going to make millions of dollars. Like at this point, he was already blown up. Like it was over with. That is the dumbest decision I've ever heard. So if Sack and Juvie survived, they were due money, correct? Assert. Did 100K promise a signing bonus? Assert. There's a $500,000 deposit into his account. Assert. Do you know what portion of the money was promised to Sack Chaser or Juvie? Assert. On October 26, tell me about the time you went to the field. Assert. Who'd you go to the field with? Assert. Whose idea was it to go to the field? Assert. Who drove to the field? Assert. Who were in the car you were in to go to the field? Assert. Did you know you were going to the field to look for a weapon linked to a double homicide? Who found the weapon that was found in the field? Assert. Where did you all stop on October 26? Assert. Where did you stop after going to the field? Assert. How many cars of people went to the field? So what happened here the morning after the murders, remember? Everyone went back to the field. Their phones were tracked going back to the same area where the police say Melly got rid of the murder weapon. Do you know who, if someone threw a firearm in a canal? Assert. Did you throw a firearm in the canal? Assert. Mr. Mills told the police he took possession of a bloody firearm. Did you see a bloody firearm? Assert. Were you telling the truth when you said Jacoby Mills tried to take the gun? Assert. When you say they said, oh no, Jacoby couldn't take the gun, who are you referring to? Assert. When you say that the gun stayed in the vehicle you were in, y'all kept driving on, where was the gun located? Assert. Who put the gun in the car? Assert. Who took the gun out of the car? Assert. Why didn't you take the gun linked to double homicide to the police? Where's the gun today? Assert. Oh, it's raining, man. What? Is bro pointing out the rain in the middle of this? What were you doing to help Jamie King on October 26? Assert. Did Jamie King have anything to do with the murder? Assert. In the interview, you say there was theories he was involved with the firearm, but didn't you in fact admit you went to the field and retrieved, or were part of the team that retrieved the firearms after these murders? Assert. You told the police that Cortland Henry was at the field looking for the gun, correct? Assert. Wait, what? He told the police that? You told the police that Jamel Demmons, Melly was in the field looking for the gun, correct? Assert. How would Jamel Demmons know where the gun was if he was not on the scene at the time of the shootings? Assert. Why would they dispose of the gun if they were not involved in the shootings? Assert. Wait, hold on. I'm confused. So did he snitch? This is low-key snitching, right? I mean, he told them they were looking for guns in the field? You told the police there were 4 people in your car and another car behind us, correct? Assert. Did you rent the Jeep involved in the shooting? Assert. Do you know that if the front-end damage occurred when Mr. Henry swerved off the road and hit barrels when Mr. Demmons started shooting and killed Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas? Assert. That's crazy. I never even knew about that detail or thought about that. Were there barrels out there smashed up or something in the area of the murder? Have you been on multiple podcasts talking about the homicides and the evidence in this case? Assert. So stupid. Do you agree that Mr. Demmons is last seen at approximately 3:18 a.m. getting in the rear passenger seat? Assert. And he asked him about everyone else who's on camera getting in the car. Who owned the .40 caliber shell casing that was found inside your rental vehicle? Assert. Who discharged it or fired it? Assert. Who retrieved the gun? Did you find other shell casings? Assert. Did you help remove shell casings from your rented Jeep? Assert. Were you aware of Mr. Williams' fear for his life? Assert. Remember, because Sack Chaser apparently called his mom freaking out the 2 days before the murder, saying that he was scared for their lives and telling them to move. Did you provide Mr. Williams any additional security upon learning that he was afraid for his life? Assert. As the CEO and client of Hunter K, do you feel you had any obligation to report threats of violence or potential violence against Mr. Williams? Assert. Mr. Mills stated in an interview that Juvie was killed because he wouldn't leave Sack's side and he heard it from the streets. Do you know who spread that information? Never seen that video a day in my life. Okay. Were you aware? Have you heard any rumors that Sack was going to rob Melly? Never heard such thing. About Riri, Melly's girlfriend, were you aware that rumors that Sack or Juvie took her to get an abortion? Never knew about that. Were you aware that Sack or Juvie paid for the abortion? Never knew anything about that. Did they come to you for reimbursement? I just answered the question. I said no. Were you aware the allegations that Mr. Williams sent pictures of penis to Mariah? No. Are you aware of what weapons Melly possessed on October 2018? No. Does this look like the firearm that you had in your vehicle that you retrieved in the field? Assert. So suspect, isn't it? Very, very sus. As of November 2018, had Mr. Demons actually recovered $750,000 out of his contracts? Assert. Did you and Mr. Demons orchestrate a plan to profit off these murders of Mr. Williams and Thomas? Assert. You told the officers that you were at the field when a gun was found, but you weren't the one that took possession of it, correct? Assert. So he like straight up snitched, right? That's what that is. You were at a field the day after the murders? Mr. Mills said you took possession of the firearm. Was your home searched? Assert. Did the police find a storage unit key? Assert. Did they ultimately search the storage unit as well? Assert. Mr. Weathers and Mr. Mills indicate that shortly after their deaths, that YNW house was emptied out. Are you aware of that? Assert. Who rented the YNW house? Assert. Do you know who rented the storage den on the day of the murders? Assert. Why would a storage shed be rented on the day of the murder? Assert. That's so sus. Why are you renting that? That's a big red flag in my opinion. That's like really suspect. Who is Ijas Hassan Ali? It says paint job, so probably a work for hire or something. Do you know what would have been needed to be painted the day after Mr. Thomas and Mr. Williams were murdered? Assert. This is all big red flags. Something needed to be painted and they bought a storage unit the day after the murders. There was a lot of cash pulled out of your account the week after the murders. Why? Assert. Why would Melly have to destroy a cell phone or lose a cell phone if he was not at the scene of the shooting? Assert. Why would Melly's manager be renting a storage shed the afternoon after shooting if there was nothing to hide? Do you believe that a magic bullet shot from the right side of the car circled around and traveled and hit Mr. Williams in the left portion of his neck and traveled through the right portion of his head? Objection argumentative. Oh my God. He's asking him clearly because their autopsies show that they were shot from the different direction than the drive-by bullets on the outside of the car because it doesn't match up at all. The drive-by shooting shit is it simply does not match up. Were you the one that shot Mr. Thomas? Assert. Did you have Mr. Thomas shot? Assert. Do you have Mr. Williams shot? Assert. Do you know what the significance is of the evidence of the gunpowder stippling being found on Mr. Thomas' left cheek? No. That's what I expect evidence to show is evidence that it was an intermediate range gunshot, approximately 8 inches from his face. Do you know who else was sitting in the back seat passenger 8 inches to the left of Mr. Thomas? Assert. This is so fucking crazy. They show a picture of Juvie's hand now to him. Remember, Juvie apparently put his hands up and got shot in the hand. Were you aware that he put up his hands to try to either defend against or cover his face from a gunshot coming from his left? No, it wasn't. This is the police photo of their matching of where the vehicle had to be a match. The glass casings that led evidence on the car. Can you explain to me how, you know, from your research and your certainty that there's no evidence in this case of the boys, how your rental car was shot up on the passenger side of this road? Objection. Do you know how the vehicle got shot up on the passenger side? No, I do not. Did he tell you what kind of vehicle was used by the shooters? Assert. Did you learn that the vehicles actually matched somebody standing by the vehicle and not in a moving vehicle next to it? No, I never knew. The photos of the blood evidence now showed that somebody must have been sitting in the left passenger back seat. Assert. This is not good. We're aware that Mr. Demons was trying to call his mom at 3:40. Assert. Do you know what Mr. Demons and Mr. Gibbons discussed at 4:04? Assert. Have you seen the text messages about Demons and Gibbons, him coming to pick him up? Assert. Do you recall the conversation with Mr. Mills saying that you're going to get rid of the firearm? Assert. Do you know who said that Juvie and Sack got hit with a 9mm? Assert. Are you aware that text messages right before the murders? Sack's texting Melly asking for small amounts of money because he can't afford to live? No. Have you heard of these allegations that Sack Chaser was in any way causing harm or molesting or R-wording Mr. Demons? Huh? No. Do you know why Mr. Mills said that? No, I don't. There, you're basically admitting you were aware Mr. Demons destroyed or got rid of his phone that evening. What? Assert. No, I don't know. What's the question, bro? What are you asking? Miss Holmes, Mariah, and her mother were trying to extort you, Jamel or Miss King. Assert. Your son accused of killing 2 people, but I need to pay $40,000 in a car. Not shit. So I know you're lying. You know what she was referring to about $40,000 in a car? No, sir. Wait. They got text messages of Mariah Hamilton's mama saying they got $40,000 in a car from them. that's crazy. On March 1st, 2021, Miss Holmes says, let's tell what Melly really did. What he really told her upstairs in Fredo's house. Oh, I'm testifying. I wasn't, but I sure am. I damn sure is now. He lied. He was with them. He told me he was that morning. I talked to him to tell me he was with him. Are you aware of those messages? No, sir. Do you also understand that your deposition here today can be used in the civil case, meaning every time that you pled the fifth, we can present that to a jury and ask the jury to hold it against you when they render the verdict, in which case I'll be asking for many millions of dollars and the damages for that case. Do you understand that? I would need counsel. Chris would speak on that. I don't understand your question. Crazy. A jury gonna hear all this. It's not like a criminal case. The jury can hear all this shit. You understand the implications of raising the Fifth Amendment here in this deposition? Assert. He's asserting to that. Do you have any personal insurance so that when there's a judgment lodged against you, meaning that I can ask the courts to garnish your wages to do things like take away your cars, take away any items of your property in order to satisfy the judgment? Do you have any personal insurance for that? Assert. All right, that looks like that's pretty much the gist of this. Terrible, terrible look for these guys in the civil case though, right? Like the jury's gonna see all this. Comment down below what you guys think. Hit subscribe. Thanks for the support. Peace out, boys.